So for this assignment, we are going to be working with creating an expressive design. And at this point, from here on out in the class, I want to avoid objective subject matter. So we're going to be working with shapes. We're going to be working with what we call formal subject matter. So we're going to be working with forms, shapes, lines, texture, things like that. And we're not going to be working with things that have names like apples, flowers, pears, whatever. And so, a lot of times it's easiest to start with just a bunch of shapes. Now, in Illustrator, this is very easy. In Photoshop, you do it pretty much the exact same way, so you should be able to follow along with this, except you use different layers and you just build each shape on a different layer. Now, for those of you in Illustrator, maybe see some of these shapes down here, and you kind of wonder about those. Well, if you look at this, and if I turn the stroke back on, and I turn the fill off, all I did here was took the brush tool, made a squiggly line, and then I turned the stroke, or I filled it in. Oops, I guess let's get back over here. Select it. I then filled it in, and I turned the stroke off. So, kind of an interesting shape on its own. I probably will turn the stroke on some of these and turn it off on others, but here I've just got a whole bunch of shapes. Now you'll notice they're all gray. It doesn't really matter at this point. I don't care. It's just a way of getting me started. And so here I'm going to get some lines and let's make sure that we can actually see those. There we go. Too skinny. Let's turn that up to like 3. There we go. Okay, and what I want to do here, and this is sort of irrelevant, but it gives me an idea of a way to start. And I like this trick a lot. And I'm just using the align tool, and then I'll bring that in. So I made a whole bunch of lines that were exactly the same, just copies of the first line. I align them all to the left, and then I distribute them evenly in that stack. So when you look at that, it ends up like that, which is pretty cool. Maybe I'll use this. And at this point, I'm going to go up to Object, Group. So that's a group. So when I click on it, they all go together. So what to do at this point? Because Illustrator scales, this is one of those reasons why I love it so much, because I can now grab all my shapes, and I can head over to my stage. And here's the whole stage here. I've got just a square set up to build my design in. Here I'm going to go up to arrange and then send to back, just to make sure that stage there is that frame is in the very back. So at this point, I'm going to just come in and start bringing things in and just respond intuitively to what's going on here. Could use a rectangle. Why not, right? Now, at this point, you'll probably notice that I lost my shape in there, so I think it's probably okay to probably just do it on the HSB sliders. That would probably be easier. Although in this case, I want the stroke to be on. We'll make it black. Now we'll make it really dark gray. So I can then start playing with these shapes. You'll see it's still got a fill on it, which is kind of interesting. Circle, sure, why not? Let's make that dark. I don't know where this is in space. It's on top, sure. Going to copy and paste it a couple times. Now, in a case like this, it's starting to look like it maybe needs to get pushed in the corner here. So what I'm going to do is just go up to Object, and then I'm going to send backwards. Now, you'll see my keyboard shortcut here. I use these. I very rarely use this menu, but let's see. Do that again. Send to back. So what I'm going to be doing is just using my keyboard shortcuts to put it where I want it. See what that'll do. Here, let's just copy and paste another one, but let's make it lighter, smaller, stick it on there. This one here, I'm going to bring that all the way to the front, make it dark. And you'll see this is a design starting to happen. It's still in its infancy, but it's starting to happen. Let's see. Okay, so there's a little 5-minute glitch. So I want this to be a nice design, right? I like this one here. I always really like these. Actually, I'm going to do it. You'll see me do this in a couple weeks on another video, but where are you? I always lose that tool. Where are you? Here we go. The warp tool. I'm going to drag that across there. Sweet. And that gave me exactly what I'm looking for. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it on top. And I'm going to rotate it. I'm going to stretch it out. Put it across there. You know what? I'm going to copy and paste that because I like it that much. Getting a little convoluted there, so let's push these to the back. Not all the way to the back. Maybe a couple layers back. Yeah, that looks good. Now this one here, I want to look at him again. You'll see it's just kind of a mess. So let's see what happens if we fill it in with white and give it a dark gray stroke. All right. And then I'm going to push it to the front. I like that. Okay, so not bad as far as designing goes, right? I mean, it looks like just a whole bunch of chaos, which, yeah, honestly it is. But that's all you need. You don't, we're looking at it in terms of design. We're not looking at it in terms of objects. We want to just, sort of follow the way our eye moves through things, and pay attention to those kinds of things. So at this point, I can look at this and I can say, all right, I need color. I'm going to bring my background in just a little bit so that we don't have quite so much space there. And we look at our palettes. So I'm going to go pause this real quick and grab a palette. Okay, so went and grabbed a palette. I've got it on circles. Guess it doesn't really matter, right? I'm going to bring my wheel or my sliders over here. And, I can start taking this design here and looking at it. All right, I've got hue 0. And I think, could go right there. Darker version of that maybe sticks right there. Maybe this tint can go right there. And then maybe, I don't know, let's try this saturated orange right here. And right now I'm just throwing colors in. I don't want to think too much about this right now. I'm kind of bad at thinking at this stage of the game. So, let's not, right? Let's just sort of figure out what we have first, and then we can look at it. I'm going to take this nice dark red, stick it back there. And let's see. What do we got? I am actually just going to go up here and there we go. So here's my design so far. Does it work? Maybe. Is it where I want it to be? No. And I used an analogous scheme sort of on purpose here so that I could use these things quickly. But my point with this is just that we can take some of these colors and we can move them around and we can adjust our design so that we have so we have the color sort of fitting the mood or the tone that we're going for. All right, whatever. So I would say, maybe this guy goes up here. Increase the stroke on that. Let's try actually this color right here. I'll drag that to there. This one here, I actually think I want to turn the stroke off. And so now we're dealing with some of this stuff here. And it's a decent design, right? It's a little rough, at first, but if I come in and I find my background and I sort of line my rectangle up with it, let's see, where are you? There you go. I can crop, select everything, and that there is a pretty decent design. I would say it's doesn't quite fit with a harmonious, warm, analogous scheme yet, but I think it's close. So anyway, I hope that helps, and I hope that's how we're doing these. So.